and welcome to another edition of the One Team We Agree On. I'm Jillian.
And I'm Kyle. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing great, man. Union come back from a 2-0 deficit and get a point on the road in Atlanta. And
We are still undefeated. Woo!
we are. And what we always say about 2-0 goal leads.
Oh, that's a dangerous lead to have.
It is. So on today's show, we're going to talk about that game in Atlanta. And for those of you who were there, hope you had a wonderful time. And then we're also going to talk about some merch updates and Union are coming on into a bye week, so let's discuss that a little bit as well. But before we get started, what are we wearing today?
I have a new shirt that I'm wearing. Okay, hopefully you can see it here because the lighting. But Fight for Philly, what's one of those new shirts they put out from the Wild Collective? I did not pay full price for it, okay? This is the same brand that put out the concert t-shirt that we were all obsessed with last season. Still love that shirt. So it's quality material, I think. It's like this off-white kind of color, and it has Fight for Philly, 2010, Union, all this stuff on it. Very comfy, but the sticker price is $75. I did not pay $75. I used like the 25% off sale that they had on Fanatics. So I got that.
So you talk about the concert Wild Collective.
It's a good brand. I mean, like, it's a quality, like, material and everything, and it's really comfy. They put out nice stuff. Like, the stuff's pretty cute, but really expensive.
Yeah, you guys
Don't pay full price for it. There's usually a sale at some point.
All I'm gonna say is no shirt is worth $75.
No, not a t-shirt.
And
But I do like it.
would you like a hot take?
Go ahead.
The concert shirt was overrated.
That is a hot take. I love that shirt.
I know you
That's a good
do.
shirt, and I know other people will back me up on that.
I'm waiting for Pullman to come.
Colby and Mike Barrera, they have that too, and I think they'll back me up when I say it's a really good shirt. It is fire.
Comments come after me now.
Yeah.
Anyway, I am wearing the brand new baseball jersey. This is actually really nice. This is probably my second favorite one. I didn't get the black one from last year. Initially I liked it, but then I kind of cooled off on it. This one's nice. I like the cream, sleeves. They got Philadelphia down the side. They got the badge. It's a nice kit. For a jersey, it's really, really comfortable.
I know you were disappointed that the badge there, it's
that's the only thing. It's
just
like
iron on.
my old one was like an actual baseball jersey, it was like actually sewn on. This one's kind of just ironed on.
Yeah.
But regardless, it's comfortable. It'd be really nice in summer. So
yeah, when I saw that was on sale too, like we got that at the same
a really
time,
good
and
deal. It was
I was like, you want that?
$41?
Yeah, I was like, well,
yeah, go get it. If you really like it, now it's time to go get it.
yeah, and honestly, like Fanatics or MLS store, they have like 20% off sales fairly often. I always wait for stuff to go on sale, or well, it was 25% off on there, so I got that, and at the same time I got a couple other things. Like I got the silicone pint glass. Got this for, I think it was like $13 or something, but so it wasn't bad.
No, it's a nice glass.
And I use these all the time. I use these, when we're recording here all the time. But now I have a Union one. I use the Santa Monica one I got when we were away at LA for the MLS Cup in 2022. I use that one a lot. But yeah, I like these. So yeah.
So before we go ahead and get started, tell people where they can find us.
You can find us on social media. We are at TOTWAG on Twitter, or X, if you will. We are at the One Team We Agree On Facebook and Instagram. We are on YouTube at the One Team We Agree On, and you can see us on our website, theoneteamweagreeon.com. And you can also follow me on TikTok. And it is just Jillian_Almany. I never know my TikTok name. Isn't that sad? It's because I get mixed up with my other social media accounts because it's like silly _Jilly on like half the stuff that I have. I'll post the new video. You're judging me. Okay. You know what? You know what? Here, I will go on TikTok right now and I will tell you. Yeah.
So folks, just for clarification, we're finding out right now.
Jillian_Almany, AL money. And by the way, it is pronounced Almany, not Almoni or alimony or anything like that. It's Almany. That's why my Twitter handle is the way it is.
There you go.
Public service announcement. Well, I'm sorry. People botch my first name and my last name all the time. Before I married you, people didn't mess up my last name. My maiden name was easy. But anyway.
Be a swimming national meet, and there'll be like in lane 4, Kyle Alimony. Okay, alimony. Yeah, not
Yeah.
alimony, alimony.
Yeah.
Anyway,
We digress.
we do digress. Let's get into the episode. So, Union dropped some merch this week.
Yes, and they
It
wore
was a
them at the game.
very busy week of news,
It was a really busy week of news.
especially early on. But yeah, so the Union dropped their One Planet. This year, unlike other years, they always call it the Parley Kit. The Union dropped this, and rest of MLS did. Now there was 3 different types rather
Yeah.
than 2,
There was like a tan one.
and there was a
There
blue
was a
one.
blue one. The blue one was decent. We have the green one.
Yep.
There you go.
So overall thoughts, we asked Union Twitter what they thought about it, and basically 22% said take my money now.
I know a few people that said that.
The overall majority was 32% say it's nice, but I'll wait for a discount, basically. Then 28% said, probably not. A lot of them said, it's a green kit. Why are we doing green?
Let's have a variety. I can wear it on St. Patrick's Day and Earth Day.
And then 18% said not fans. So kind of across the board, everybody, it was very controversial, I would say. Everybody had mixed feelings about it.
Yeah, like last year's Parley kit, I really love. That's still one of my top ones.
Oh yeah.
I like the green. I think in person it looks pretty good. So I was at work when it got released, and so I'm on my lunch break and I saw it and I thought, I kind of like that. But I thought about it a little bit. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get that. And within like an hour of me seeing it, I went on and bought it, and I got it yesterday in the mail. So I think what sold it for me too, I think, was seeing the ad with Quinn and Oliver on it. Like seeing it actually being worn, I thought, I was like, okay, that looks actually pretty good in person, like in real life. Because it's one thing when you see the um the advertisement online, just like, a picture of it or something. It's kind of like how I felt about the Philly City Connect jersey, which I also bought. Kyle rolling his eyes at me on that one.
Yeah, because
Kyle likes it. You like it, Kyle.
I mean, it's something I could wear.
Yeah. I got a Bryce Harper City Connect. So I have zero regrets. It looks good in person.
It does. My thought was when it first came out, okay, this is cool, it's different, it's unique, and I'm always down for that. And so I thought that was a really nice design, but I'll be honest with you, the little like paintings of like all the, can you pull this up again? So like this is what gets me, the little like paintings of like the flowers and plants and all that. I don't know, like I get why they did that to fill up the space. I don't know. It's something about that part. The kit itself, if it was like a green with different like images and stuff, I maybe would go for that. But that was the only thing. Having said that, I'm kind of in the it's a nice kit. I'll wait.
Like I don't regret getting it, but is it my favorite one they put out? No, but I do like it.
It's a nice kit. Like you said, you can do it for like St. Patrick's Day or like just
it pops, and I have green eyes. It makes my green eyes
and green's always been my favorite color. So it's like, okay.
I didn't even know green is your favorite color.
I told you greens several times was my favorite color. Green, red.
You should be an Eagles fan then.
Green, red, and blue are my favorite colors.
And speaking of stuff behind us, by the way.
Yes, let's talk about that.
Yeah. So Kyle, I did a little rearranging back here.
Yeah, so we're updating our set. As you see, there's some blank space over on that side past the Eagles blanket. We have the little scarf here by my Dolphins. We're going to update that with some photos and other memorabilia. So stay tuned for that. And then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the Sons of Ben stickers and put them on the skateboard and as well. So it'll be a fun little thing as we kind of go along. Probably like, hopefully we're still doing this 3-4 years from down the road. That skateboard might be full of stickers by then. So cool little artifact of where we started and see how that goes. But I think that's a little fun thing. We'll just keep putting stickers on it and having some fun with that.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's go ahead and get into the Atlanta match today.
Yeah. So we went to Beer Hall Brewing in Lancaster for the watch party, and we were the first Union fans really to get there, but then a bunch came in after us, and we had a pretty good crew. I think I'd want to say between 15 and 20 people there. Would you say?
it was a good crowd.
Yeah. And so we saw a bunch of people we knew and some that we hadn't met yet. So if one of the people we met is listening, thanks for checking it out. And it was really nice hanging out with everybody.
And the most random thing of that day was the guy that was like grew up in San Jose as a San Jose Earthquake fan came in for like a crowler,
Yeah.
filled up his crowd, and he's like, "Oh, this is great to see like people supporting MLS and like
Yeah.
all that." I'm like, "Wow, this is." Just seeing all the Union fans.
Yeah.
He's like, I live in New York, but I also work down here and et cetera, et cetera. Nice guy,
Yeah,
but
he was like really impressed that there's MLS fans there. So
yeah,
yeah, and we're like, yeah, we're trying to grow it here too in Lancaster, getting more and more people watching. So uh we had a good time there, and it when we scored, I mean, we erupted. I mean, it
no,
was
the
fun.
one was the offside goal, which we'll get to,
Oh
but
yeah.
that place went erupting. Even people that were just there watching the Masters were like, what the heck is going on over there?
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, you guys, if you haven't been there and you're in the Lancaster area, or even if you're not quite in Lancaster, but you want
New
someplace
York.
to go, yeah, come check it out. They have a lot of TVs in there. They had the Sixers were on some TVs, the Phillies were on some TVs. I didn't watch most of the Phillies game because every time I looked, we got scored on.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh no. But anyway, so yeah, the food is good, drinks are good. They have an outdoor patio. So yeah, it was a nice time there.
It was. And the thing that really impressed me was just everybody getting together, talking about the union, talking about,
Mhm.
just club memories, all that stuff. It's a good time. So, like Jillian said, if you're local, come hang out. Even if you're not, just come up.
Mhm.
Love to do like some post game stuff there eventually, if possible.
Mhm.
But we'll see. But starting out, we got the lineup. Ua coming off his plantar fasciitis, was on the bench. That made sense. And
It did.
honestly, I'll say this, like right off the bat, some people were like, I saw like one or two comments like, why is Ua on the bench? It's like, well, he's just coming off a heel injury, running on turf.
Right.
Do you really, really want to risk him like 15 minutes in, God forbid something happens? No. It's a long season.
Yeah, so when I saw that lineup, I'm thinking, okay, probably Ua can come in the second half at some
Yeah.
point and move Quinn down or something, move him.
Yeah,
Uh,
like my initial thought was, okay, Ua up top, Ali comes out 60, and then Quinn slots back down to midfield.
yeah,
And Elliott low, I mean, Jim even said it on his presser here today. Those are those tough decisions where like he just felt the matchup was better
yeah.
with what they had. And to Jim's credit, and we'll get into it. I mean, there's a lot of things today from Damian Lowe that I'm like, okay.
Damien was one of the best players of the game, I thought.
It was, but also the crit, and Jim admitted it. Like maybe I ran those center backs too hard and into the ground,
Yeah.
and that's something, folks, that we need to keep an eye on. I mean, we have three capable center backs right now.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have.
It is, and it's a problem, yes, because somebody's always going to be left off the bench. But A, something happens in the game. B, there's a tactical matchup you can switch up. There's a lot of good problems to have with the center backs, and that's why I wanted to open this up because the last couple games, we're seeing Glesnes get a little bit healthier. Glesnes, Elliott look great against Minnesota. Um, there's just some good problems to have right now in that center back position.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I think in this case it was the right call. Damien proved to be one of the top players in the match. Glessness, I mean, the one goal was
We'll
yeah, that
get
was
into
yeah,
that.
we'll get into that. But like, yeah, I do appreciate that Jim has reflected a bit on some of that with the center backs and realizes, okay, maybe we should rotate them a little bit,
Here's
depending on the matchup.
here's the thing: good coaches learn from their failures.
Exactly.
You
And
you
yeah.
learn from your failures in life. That's a life lesson.
And Jim was a center back, so
And
Yeah.
Jim's stubborn and then people are saying, well, wait a minute, what about substitutions? What about this? What about that? Okay, I get that. But I think from a tactical side, we all have said, he's a man coach, he's not a tactical coach. I get that. But he's starting to try some different things out, and I think that's good thing to see, and he's relying on his coaches a little bit more. So
Right. He's shown some flexibility and willingness to adapt a bit.
exactly. So first half, for me, and I think Jim hit it on the head, they kind of canceled each other out. The thing I liked, a couple things I point out. First, I really thought the Union more than Nashville came out a little bit more attacking. They were creating chances.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it goes back to the whole narrative we've been saying since the beginning of the year, can't finish. Um, we had some chances there, just still, and it's early in the season. Maybe they'll come, maybe they won't. Also thought Kai had some really nice balls.
He did.
He was setting up some really nice balls, and that's what you want to see from him. And we weren't seeing that this time last year.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm like, okay, Kai's got some confidence, he's got some groove going, and now he's putting balls in that we had some dangerous opportunities. I thought we had more dangerous opportunities than Atlanta in that first half.
Yeah. And honestly, I think Kai's been one of the most consistently top performing players on our team.
He's been very good this year.
He's been very consistent, like, very solid every game.
Yeah, I mean, I would say outside of Low, he's been probably the most consistent on a game-to-game basis.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's been some games where some players have really flashed, and I can't wait for that. But that said, also once again, Damian Lowe coming in.
Yeah.
He's really playing with a lot of confidence right now. Now,
Yes.
there was a couple times I'm like, there was one or two plays where I'm like, he's almost up at the far 18, and the
Yeah.
other team has possession. I'm like, you need to get back. Like now, he's getting caught up really, really high.
Mm-hmm.
That's always going to be his problem because I think he's like, oh, okay, I can go up, I'll catch these guys, and
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. But some blocks, I thought him and Glesnes really looked good together in that first half. Um, just they're starting to gel a little bit more than they did last year. And I think Glez is also learning, like, okay, if Damien's going up, I need to stay a little bit back
Yeah.
just in case. Um, so overall, I thought that was good. There were some yellow cards,
There were a lot of yellow cards in this game. In
and I
fact,
feel
yeah,
like that really impacted the match, especially Julian getting that early yellow.
we had 6 yellow cards, 6 yellow cards. And when you look at the statistics and you see like who in our lineup on the field there has yellow, it's like more than half of them, obviously, but it's crazy seeing all the yellows on that.
You were like, you get a yellow, you get a yellow, you get a yellow.
Everybody gets a card. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Now, having said that, yeah, did he elbow Amada in the face?
Yeah. That was
That was a yellow.
it was, but also it's like that was a game changer because then Julian had to, be careful the
He
rest of the
did,
game. And
and
and I saw, it commented online about uh, Julian not showing the passion and stuff for,
he's on
much
his
of the game.
yellow.
He was on a yellow.
Well,
Okay.
what is he gonna do? I mean, I get it,
I
but at the
mean,
same time, like he's trying to be careful because one more now you're down a man on the road
yeah.
in Atlanta. That's not a good place to have. So
Yeah.
same with Brujo. Once Brujo got that yellow, he
So
just
check that off your bingo card, of course.
yeah, well,
That's
but that was a
that's
joke.
like the free
That was the
space on a
joke
bingo
there.
card.
Everybody's like, "Oh, oh, he got one.
There
Let's
it
see it
is.
for it." Yep, there it is.
Yeah, because I mean, gosh, he's probably going to be getting close to that yellow card accumulation, I think. But he's actually been a little bit more measured. Um, but
There's a
yeah,
couple times. Um,
there were some dumb yellows. Like, well, like, yeah,
so I mean, overall, you didn't look good. I mean, they looked a lot better than they did against Nashville in that
yes,
first half, and I think
yes,
that's a positive to take away from it. That they came out fighting. They wanted to get those 3 points.
right.
It just didn't happen. I mean, even Guzan made a really nice save on that punch out. Blake didn't have a whole. He had like one nice save early on. Um, but let's get to Andre because
Yeah,
Andre gets like hit. it was a weird sequence because he makes a save, but his finger kind of buckles under him. We saw
Yeah.
that. We were watching that. He like just he's like looking at Damien like, jam my thumb.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's my first thought. And then when he goes to kick the ball, I looked at him like, that was just and so
Jim in the presser, he said that it was the groin or quad, and they're not sure because they gotta, run some tests. But so we don't know what is up there yet.
yeah, it's been a whole bunch of things for Andre
So
to
just some
be
bad luck, I think.
so that's my question. I want to ask you, are you concerned with the injuries? Because we saw some people saying, hey, is it time to have hard discussions? Or is it just bad luck and these things happen? I mean, we've seen the injuries piling up now. Last year, this year. I mean, he's got Copa America coming up. He's got the World
Oh,
Cup in 20.
the way I see it is okay. The whole concussion thing, I mean, that's bad luck right there. That's
It
not
is.
like, you're aggravating an injury or something. That's different, I think. And yeah, I mean, Andre's in his 30s. He's in his like early 30s. And yeah, it starts to take a toll on you. But at the same time, this is a three-time goalkeeper of the year, and he's still really good. I think honestly, it's mostly been some bad luck. Did he maybe come back at times when he wasn't still 100%? Maybe. Um, but I think it'll be interesting to see what the diagnosis is here and what the what it's going to look like with terms of him coming back. The good news is we have a bye week, so that gives some time to get better.
Mhm.
And the other good news is Oliver Zemla has been very solid. He's been a very good backup because, you all may recall, last year when we played at Atlanta, who was in goal for us?
Let's not bring that up.
Yeah, Joe Bendick. And, you know, it Oliver Zemla having to come in, towards the end of the first half, you know, all of us watching were like, well, at least Zemla can do a good job here. We're not like, oh crap. I mean, we're oh crap, Andre's hurt, and we don't want to have to be in this
Right.
situation. But at the same time, we're not like, oh God, here we go. This is gonna be bad. Anything like that. Like Oliver's done a solid job and he gets better each game, like Jim said in the press conference, Oliver has been getting better and better each game. And now that he's on this bigger stage and everything, he's but he's learning a lot, basically.
No, he is. And I think the first thing is Oliver's getting a lot of it's getting thrown in the fire, at a level up,
It
which is
makes you
good.
yeah, it makes you feel better from when we won't have Andre in the
It
summer.
does, because he's gonna learn,
Yeah.
and I think for me, the concern, injuries happen. They're a part of
Hmm.
soccer. Is it the same injury? Is that concerning? Sure. I get that argument, but let's maybe also we're in an interesting situation that Semla's playing pretty well. I mean, is he Andre? No. But he's at least being capable enough
Hmm.
that if Andre needs to sit another game or two, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Like, make sure, remember, this is a marathon, it's not a
It's
sprint.
a long
So
season.
we gotta get if Andre can be healthy come October and he's fully 100% healthy, that quad is as healthy as it's gonna be because we know quad calf injuries, they take forever to heal.
Hmm.
So
Groin injuries really do.
oh yeah, right. And so let's just say this, like make sure he's healthy when you bring him back. Yes, Jim always says Andre's a quick healer. Maybe you just say, okay, you're healed. We're gonna sit you out this match. And the whole thing with the Andrew Rick, it is what it is. Somebody
Yeah.
might we gotta talk about that because Jose Nunez has talked about it, Todd Lewis has talked about it, we've talked about it. There's been questions. I mean, I brought that up to Marlon LeBlanc, now
Hmm.
credit to Jose for, bringing that question to my attention. But, Marlon, it's a great opportunity for the man. And,
Yeah.
and I think that's how we need to look at it. So are you gonna have to cut somebody? It looks like it will. It's a weird roster rule. So I'm not gonna speculate on who that cut is, because no one
Mm.
I don't think anybody wants to lose a cut.
Right. And in case anyone listening missed like why this is a big deal, Andrew Rick has been put on that temporary call up, what 3 out of the 4 times that are
Right.
allowed. So there's only that one more time. And so yeah.
He'll get that Real and Salt Lake, and probably because I doubt Blake's gonna be back by then.
Yeah.
Maybe,
I
but we'll
mean, who
see.
knows, but
So
it's a
I
real
think it's a
possibility.
really good possibility that Andrew Great Rick gets added to the roster. So and then what does that say about somebody like Holden Trent who's injured? Are they gonna cut him? I mean, it's
Feel for the guy. He's just had really bad luck.
he's had bad luck as well. So anyway, not trying to speculate. We'll see how this plays out.
Yeah.
Maybe Andre comes back and we can hold out. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if Holden can't get back, we got it the summer too when he's at Copa. So
Because we're
well,
going to need a backup. Like we're gonna
yeah,
need someone when Oliver's gonna have to take, the starting role there.
it is. So second half starts, Semla's in net, and
Yes.
I thought Atlanta came out guns blazing. They wanted to get that goal.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they get that goal from Rios, who's just been a thorn in the Union side now. 5 of his 13 goals, I think it was Jimmy posted that or somebody, have come against the Union.
Yeah,
And
4 of them in that game against Charlotte
Charlotte,
at Charlotte in 2022. The one that we always say, if we get a point out of that game, if we get a draw,
we're
we're
hosting the
hosting
cup.
MLS Cup and then probably winning it, if we're honest. So
What happens if that happens again?
if I could turn back time.
Anyway, so, but I thought Jim brought up an interesting point. Jake was playing very well. Could he have done better there? Sure. He needs to get ahead on that ball, but you brought up an interesting point. Maybe Semla needs to identify that ball a little bit better. And that's been
Hmm.
something that I have noticed. A couple other people have noticed as well. I've seen comments. You know, Oliver's, taking a level up. He doesn't recognize as much as Blake does. He hasn't had
Yeah.
that experience
Yeah. He's
at this
getting
high
better,
level.
but he's still got a lot to learn.
Excuse me, guys. So anyway, Semla needs to, maybe recognize that ball. Regardless, it's a nice hitter. And it's 1-0. You're like, now we're playing behind again on the road, which has been a
Been there,
common.
done that.
Well, yeah, Union have had a common theme of being behind the road. The goal, the second goal, the Caleb Wiley goal, that's a goal outside the box. And Jim said it again, maybe Zemla recognizes it, get a hand on it. But also that turf,
Yeah.
wet turf, that ball skips up a little bit faster than he thinks about natural
Yeah.
grass. And
Yeah.
you're down 2-0 now, and everybody's like,
Oh,
well,
yeah. I'm gonna call out the people that gave up on the game. I'm
well,
not
I
gonna call
mean,
them out by name. I'm just saying
do you want to call out me? Because I said, well, the game's over. I did say that on Twitter. I said, look, this game,
fair weather fan.
I said, hey,
Have you not learned anything, Kyle?
about 2
This
nothing
team
goal.
has grit and this team has resiliency and we have fight. And I did not give up on them. Now, was
I
I
didn't give up
feeling
on them
down
either.
about it? Yeah. We're all just like feeling like, ugh.
But here's my
And
thing. You're
but
down 2-0.
it's the
That
most
really,
dangerous lead to have.
yes, but also after that first goal, they were looking kind of like they didn't have
Mhm.
that grit. They were struggling. That goal happens. I'm like, are we gonna have another Pachuca on our hand?
I didn't think that. My mind did not go
I
there.
was kind of worried because I thinking if they give up one more goal, I need to see some grit and
If we
fire.
had gone down 3-0, then yeah, I might have.
Thank you, goalpost.
Thank you, goalpost.
But no, I mean that's not me say I gave up on the team either.
No, but there were some people like
I saw that.
on
But
Twitter. Oh my goodness.
I mean, my concern was okay, maybe it's not going to happen, but let's at least see some fight. And that's all I really wanted to see out of this game. Can we get
Yes.
some fight out of this? And we did.
Yes.
And what did it
Faithful
take?
Billy. Ooh.
It took an errant pass
Yeah.
on a ball that Mikel comes in and recognizes immediately. That ball's there, runs onto it on a tough angle where we've seen him sky balls before
Yeah.
or try to do too much and push it to the outside. Takes a shot right inside the box and just buries it. And you're
What a
sitting,
goal.
and
Yes.
what I'm sitting there going is, there you go. It
Miguel.
was
Yeah.
like that Shannon Sharp meme where he's like, like that. Like, yep,
Yeah.
there, right there, right there.
Yeah, he came in, he was a game changer. It was yeah, I mean
Well, I mean, he made that one bad pass, but let's not
okay,
get that.
no, but he did make that I mean, he really should have had a brace on the night, which we'll get into, but yeah, that was big, and, you know
But we talk about the confidence, and I know he
yes.
gets a lot of hate, um, because he's the highest paid player on the team.
He does get a lot of hate, and he I don't think all of it's deserved at all,
I mean,
but
I get some of it, but at the
I get
same
the
time,
frustration, but
somebody's listening. But Kyle, you're also new with Stan. You can't talk about this. Well, I can, and I will. Um, I get it, but at the same time, like that's a confidence building goal. He
yes.
looked confident hitting that ball, and that's what you want from him.
He needed that just like Nick Castellanos needed that game-winning hit that happened with the
And
Phillies
that was a game
yesterday.
changer in the
Game
game
changer.
because the Union woke up after that. And then all of a sudden you saw an aggressive team pushing forward,
Yes.
making plays, getting a little bit more aggressive defensively. And what we know, a throw in. Union deserve a throw in. And Harrell, nice ball into the box. And there's another thing. We had Thomas Grummark on
Yeah.
with Todd Lewis talked, and I asked him about Nate Harrell, and he really raved about Nate
Yeah.
was improvement.
And for you
Nate's
guys
been the
listening
best
yeah.
one this year with throw-ins.
Yes, Thomas Groundmark, by the way, he's a throw-in specialist. He's a throw-in coach, and he worked with the union. We had him on pod between us and Todd with free kick,
Yeah.
and we were out in Anaheim, and he coached them on throw-ins back in 2022, and he's worked over in England and everything too, and all over. And so when I was watching that, I was like, "Ooh, that was a throw-in to make him proud."
It was. And shout out to the guy from I think he's a Atlanta fan that was like, ha ha, they have a throw-ins
Oh.
coach. I'm like, dude.
No, no, actually it was someone who was just like, "Oh, like that's a cool thing." But
Oh, it
no,
was?
but there were Atlanta fans that were all like,
Oh.
oh, no, they were going on about, oh, that Nate stepped over the line,
So funny
that's what
story. I asked a couple people that because when I played soccer, it was like even if I remember getting like it. I used to step on the line a lot with my
yeah.
toe, and it was like, "Oh, you're over the line." I'm like, "What?" So I guess they changed the rule.
Yeah, because when I played when I was a real little kid, but like I was just like, I thought you had to have your foot in.
But no, then somebody explained it's like the
Yeah.
goal, like the ball has to be completely over the line. No,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Okay, so
Yeah.
maybe it was just bad officiating.
Yeah, and well, no, and the one like official's right there watching. There's like you can see in like pictures, like she's
It's
watching.
it's illegal. It's
She can only gotten the
illegal.
offside call,
So I
so
went and looked up the rule, and it's legal. And then I saw a couple other people quoting
yep,
it.
yep.
So the Lamb fans, I'm sorry that your butt hurt about
Sorry that you're
that,
all salty, but
but that's the rule. So
so cry more.
yeah, I mean Kai. Let's talk about Kai's goal.
Let's talk
Hits
about
that.
Kai.
That was a banger.
Kai, that was incredible. That oh my goodness. That whole like volley there, that was incredible. That was my like okay, I'm biased, but I think that should be a contender for goal of the match day. Okay.
You know who's going to
We
win
know
gold.
who's going to win it. Okay, a certain number 10 in Miami probably if his is one of the ones that are picked. We all know he's going to get player of the match day, whatever. But yeah, I thought that was an incredible goal by Kai. Just buries that and just the way he hit that. I mean, chef's kiss.
So
That was awesome.
so here's the thing I love about that. So you see him, he goes over, does the ears. Okay, that's cool and all. But him running right to Jim and the coaching staff, and then all the players kind of coming over to coaches, and Jim's like playing him. He's like, "Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Yeah.
We're back in the game."
Yeah.
And you just see the love
Yes.
from the union players to the coaches. The coaches are just like, "Hey, we're back in this. Let's get after it." And here they come, even more energized union.
Yes.
And so we get that next play coming down the field, nice ball in. Ua probably hits one of the nicest goals I've seen him hit.
Yes. It was
And it was
incredible.
so beautiful. And that place at Beer House erupts.
We it erupted and
And I'm just sitting there with
uh,
Mr. Miyagi and Cry Kid too, like, yep,
uh
that is what he can do.
and did you hear Dave Leno's call for that too?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, shout out Dave Leno. But like, the fact that it was called back.
So we can go through and do the Zapruder film. It was it offsides? I mean, every angle we have seen, I even see guys like drawing lines
Yeah.
now and like doing all this stuff. Like
I'm like
at
Ted
the end
Lasso
of
when it comes to the whole on
We were
offside
talking
thing,
about
but even I
one
know
of
this
Ken
one.
Mack's friends, and
Yeah.
I've met him before, I'm pretty sure,
Yeah.
but he was saying, like, "I'd love to know if the MLS who can do that to get a line on that ball?" And, like, of course, MLS doesn't do lines like Premier League and all that, and honestly, I don't know if that's really
Ugh.
necessary. I think the thing that Jim brought up that was great is, like,
Yes.
you could put an $8 camera outside the 18. Why aren't we doing
Why
this?
aren't we doing this? Do better, Apple.
I mean,
Do better,
it's
MLF.
true.
Do
It
better.
is true because if we want to be considered a serious league, we shouldn't be relying on one camera.
No, that
Again,
is
now
bull crap.
it's not just a union. It's not just MLS Cup playoffs in Cincinnati last year.
No, this
We've
burned
seen
other
this
teams
time
too.
and time again on other clubs as well, going for and against them.
Yeah.
Like we need to be better in this
We
area.
just want to get these calls right.
And look, if it's I'm looking down the line. The defender is closest to the sideline. He's holding Ua on.
Yeah.
So anyway, they don't review it. They call it off, and the rest of the game. Then Ua has that one 5-on-1, which Jim brought up. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was
That
not
wasn't
good.
great.
That was
That
not
wasn't
good.
great.
And Jim's like, yeah, we need to maybe work on that. Yeah, there was a couple transition plays late in the game where I think we could have been better. Lana had some chances late.
Yeah.
Semla had some nice staves. I mean, how do you feel about going out there with a point?
Well, like I say often, there's draws that feel like a loss, and there's draws that feel like a win. Like the draw in Kansas City, that was a win draw.
Draw in Austin was a
Okay.
loss.
That what the one in Austin was a loss, right? That what should have been a win.
Draw against Chicago was a loss.
Yeah. So this one felt like a win kind of draw because we were down to nothing. But at the same time, it irks me because we should have come away with 3 points because of course that we should have had a brace. We should have won 3-2, but shoulda, woulda, coulda. And I know we can't change it now, but that's my thoughts on that. But still, we came away with a road point in a very tough environment to play in.
Union's only won once there.
Yeah, and so I said going into this, if we come away with a point from this, I'll be okay with that.
And I'm
And
okay
we're
with it.
still the only undefeated team. And give me some wood to knock on. But yeah, so keep it that way. I mean, I know it's not gonna last forever, but hey, it could. Um, hey, some teams have gone undefeated before. Um, looking at that team that you like. Anyway, yeah, yeah. Anyway, but in all honesty, like for us to have the record we do after all these road games, we've had but 2 regular season games at home. Um, the Seattle one doesn't count because that didn't get finished yet.
Yeah.
So, I mean, really, we've been away for so much, and to come away with this many points, you remember back in 2022, we were actually winning a lot of games on the road. We
Or
were
at
doing
least
well in
get
that.
some tough
We're
draws.
getting, yeah. So like I'm seeing like the fact that we didn't do that as well last year.
Yeah,
This
I mean,
year we're doing better on that, I think, but it's that resiliency that we've been seeing, and that's the Philly way, honestly, fighting back and
like I said,
so
I commented on social media. I said, being undefeated, that's cool and all.
that's cool and all, but
It's an early season. Here's the thing I like. I like the heart of this team.
they're
I
playing for
love
that extra day off, Kyle.
well, beyond that,
Yeah,
they're
I know.
playing for each other.
They're
Even
playing for
Ua
each other,
said
they're playing for for the badge and for the
Ua
city.
said it today.
Yeah.
Ua said today with Sage, like this team is special and he
Yeah.
believes in them and they're playing for each other. And then you see Kai running over the coaching staff. This team is unified right now. And that's
Mhm.
something that we saw in other years,
Yeah.
not necessarily in 2020, 3, but well, we saw it at times. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, do you feel like remember earlier in the season, did we didn't feel like this as much as hopeful. It was just like, oh, it's very stagnant. And then
What's this?
no, I'm just saying like when we drew at the beginning of the season and we're doing all that.
The problem was the Union were giving up goals early, like
Yeah,
they are now.
right.
It
And
was never about the only game I would say they gave up on was Pachuca.
then do you think the Pachuca game really like was a wake-up call.
It was.
Absolutely.
I think it was a wake-up call. I think that was the time for them to reset and say, "Okay, you know
They
what?
hit rock bottom there, and
And now we can only dare ourselves out, and if we're gonna be as good as we can." So,
I would love to know what, was said after all that.
and
I'll tell
maybe
you what.
nothing was said because I've been on some locker rooms after bad swimming meets where you know you're the better team
Yeah.
and you just reset. We lost to John Hopkins when we were the number 2 team in the nation.
Mhm.
They were the number 2 Division 3 team in the nation, and they had 2 national champions. We only had 1. Guess what? We got blown out at John
Mhm.
Hopkins. That bus ride home was quiet. We got to the pool at 5 a.m. the next morning. No one said a thing. We reset and we won conferences and finished third nationals this year.
Yeah.
So things happen.
Yeah.
So
I really think that this team, though, really they really are clicking right now. They really support each other. They believe in representing that badge. Like Jim said, they
exactly.
will
So,
fight for that badge.
and then that's all you can ask
That's
for
what
this team. We're
exactly.
not saying they're winning the MLS Cup. We're not saying they're winning the League's Cup. It's got a long season, but this is hopeful. Very,
Yes.
very hopeful in my opinion. I thought today Damian Lowe had a great game. I thought Kai had another consistent game. Ua was a game changer. I'd love to hear your guys' comments. Who you thought stepped up today? Semla steps up in a tough situation. So
Yeah. Yeah. I
I
mean, he's
thought
been doing
Jacob, other than that header, he had a couple big clearances and blocks as well. So funny stat, last time Union, came back from 2-0 deficit in Atlanta was 2021 in June, and that was when Corey Burke and Jacob Glesnes scored some goals.
yeah.
So, second time ever, Union have come back 2-0 Atlanta. So,
Yeah.
while maybe not seeing the wins, we're having some good points. So, we did get a comment. We had asked for some comments.
Yeah. Yeah.
Steven Sharon,
Sharon, yeah.
shout out to you. He said he was thrilled that we scored 2 goals and salvaged a tie, but I'm pissed that the third goal was called offsides.
Same.
Uh, what sure didn't look like offsides, and I'm pissed that the refs blew the second half whistle while we were in attack mode. And I wanted to
Yes.
bring that
Let's
up
bring
because
that
Jim
up.
brought that up as well. He brings up a good point. I think they thought the ball was going to go out or like just go in the corner and just get stuck there, and then okay.
Yeah.
But that Quinn makes a nice little play there, gets the ball back in, brings the ball back in as soon as it touches the pitch. We have an attacking play to end the game. Now,
Yeah.
if that ball goes out bounds after that attack, okay, cool. But there
Yeah.
again, you kind of leave that game kind of like, ooh, that's a weird call. And I saw some Milan fans were like,
Oh, they're all
oh
salty
no,
about
they
that.
were like, oh, well, they did that to us last year. And okay, that's true, but the
Fair.
ball was coming down. I remember that play. It was coming down. We were even like, ooh, that was a little close. So, okay, tick for tat, but still, you can't be doing that. That
No, no. So that was like definitely two misses. And listen, refereeing is a hard job and I get it, but yeah, he could wait. And
it's really bad call.
yeah, and wasn't it even not quite the full 6 minutes yet either, which is
No,
like my thing. Cause like, okay, come
there
on.
was like 3 or 4 seconds left.
Yeah. And I know like the clock is unofficial there. I get that, but it's not like we were like way over it or something as this
Right.
happened. And I know KC fans would have something to say about all that. But
Yeah.
um, sometimes you get screwed on that and sometimes, you benefit from it.
It's
But
like the handball. Sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it goes against you.
yep.
So,
But we
eh,
come away with a point.
and that's what with this. So, you head into the weekend to buy, and we kind of touched on this a little bit, but Jillian, I'm curious, what are your thoughts on this team to this point? Union, I had my prediction.
Hmm.
I'll just give you a little context here.
Yeah.
I had 9 points right now, my prediction. You're at 13.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And
and you could say argue that they could be easily at 17 with the Chicago and the Austin result.
yeah. And as of now, we're in third place for the Eastern Conference and we're in sixth for the Shield. And remember though,
Shout out to Todd Lewis for predicting them to be at 6th place.
yeah. Yeah.
Meanwhile,
And
I'm at 13th.
I mean, we only have 7 games played. Miami is in first. They
Yeah.
have 9 games played, and Red Bull has 8 games. So, like, the fact is, we have 13 points. We're only behind, Miami and Red Bull both have 15 points. So we have, 2 games in hand on
We do.
Miami. So yeah, I mean, it's still early. Anything can happen, but we're in a good position right now. And honestly, it'll be interesting to see.
We got a whole bunch of home games coming up.
Yes.
So let's see what happens. I'm feeling good right now.
Yeah.
Obviously, Blake's injury is going to be kind of a concern,
Yeah.
but we'll see how it all plays out. And honestly, if the front three, which, if guys, Dog, and Kronz score again, they're going to be the all-time
Yeah.
scoring tandem in games in MLS history. And Ua and Gosdog are on there too. So there's some historic, let's see what these front three can do.
Yeah.
Right now, through I think they have, was it 14 goals as a club? I believe that's the total they have right now.
Yeah. Julian didn't get to score today, which yeah, he's been on such a tear lately. That's okay. Yeah. Who saw Kai Wagner goal coming? I didn't, but I loved it.
No, but I think
He chips in there and gets those goals once in a while. It's great. I mean, I was saying during the game, like, I'd love to see a Jack McGlynn goal because I feel like he's due for one. I think he'll get one sooner or later, but I was kind of expecting one from maybe not one of the top scorers right now, and we did.
we did. And so it gives you confidence going into this break. Let's see how the Union come out of it, but we're in a good spot. And if we get some points here before Copa, I think this could be a really good setting, at least setting up for like top three in the East, maybe four.
Yeah.
Good run Leagues Cup. And so we'll see what happens. But before we get out of here, just an update on St. Baldricks. Hey, end this month here, Real Salt Lake game, we're gonna do St. Baldrick's Shave and the Stash Bash. So make sure if you are interested in participating or going and seeing this, tickets I believe are on sale at the Sons of Ben right now for it.
Yeah.
That'll be on April 27th. I currently have raised $353. Gonna keep the link in the description. Again, if you are at all interested, any bit helps. I'm trying to raise $1,000. At least try to get to 500 for this year. So please, again, consider donating. The event's April 27th from 3 to 6 p.m. before the Real Salt Lake game. That's gonna be a fun game. Churango's back, former LAFC striker, and he's been pretty good. And that's the thing last year. Real Salt Lake did not have a striker. Now they got one. It's gonna be a tough
Yeah,
matchup.
they're no slouch. They,
This is gonna be a good matchup. So we got some good matchups. We got them. Seattle has talent. They haven't been performing as well early on, but they're always dangerous. And
well,
then you got,
and we have to play with the same players.
yeah, so that's gonna be interesting. And then you got, of course, DC, who's been playing
And
decent.
we're going to be heading down to DC.
Yeah.
So if you're going, let us
Some
know too.
good matches coming up, so make
Yep.
sure if you're around, definitely try to get out to Subaru Park.
And
And
speaking of getting to Subaru Park, even though we don't have a home game for a couple weeks, the Union 2 are playing at home on Sunday, April 21st.
Yep.
And so we are going to be heading to that. That's against Red Bulls 2 at 3 p.m. And definitely come join us because we'll be hanging out the game at that. And I'm guessing probably BR the cat will be there. If you missed my article, I posted on our website, theoneteamweagreeon.com, an article about BR the cat, the tiniest SOB, the most homegrown you can get.
yeah,
Yeah, so really, fun story about that kitten who is adorable.
yeah, it's really been taken off, so check it out if you haven't. We got some other stuff on there right now.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll probably have some stuff, even though it's an off, we'll probably have an article too, each of us. So
Mm-hmm.
keep checking in daily. And so that's it for this episode of the One Team We Agree On.
Yeah, make sure to subscribe, leave us a comment. We love hearing from you. You can actually also subscribe to our website too, so when we post articles, they'll get emailed to you.
Yes.
Yes, and it is free.
Yep.
Although if anyone ever wants to contribute, we will take it. But yeah, we do all this, we're not paid for this. We do this, we enjoy it, and so it's thing that has brought it, us closer together.
Amen.
I love how we have the skate deck here in between your team and my team for football. The thing that has brought us together. No. But yeah, make sure you subscribe, leave us comments. We love hearing from you. We love interacting with you. If you have ideas for guests or topics or whatever, we love hearing from you. So be in touch and send them our way.
And until next time, I'm Kyle.
I'm Jillian.
We'll see you at the game.